Today we celebrate Youth Day, and just like many who came before us, we are uncertain of our future, now more than ever. You see, today's youth might not be taking up arms and gearing for war. However, the battles we face today are no less horrifying. As a college boy, what are you doing to affect change?
By June 16th, 1976, our youth had endured almost 3 decades under the oppressive apartheid government, most of whom had not lived to see a single day of freedom like you and I have. The government had ordered for Afrikaans to be made the compulsory medium of instruction in schools, and 2 years down the line, the oppressed black youth had decided that enough was enough.
With that, young black South Africans came out in their numbers in a peaceful demonstration against the apartheid government. In a turn of events, the crowd of approximately 20,000 were met by police, who instructed the illegal gathering to disperse and subsequently opened fire on the unarmed young people.
The iconic image of a fatally wounded Hector Peterson being carried with the anguished sister in tow encapsulates the story of that day and has marked a turning point in our history. The demonstration by the youth on the 16th of June 1976 caused an international outcry against apartheid that consequently paved the way for our democracy 18 years later. The day, formerly known as Soweto Day, serves as an annual reminder of the courage of those who came before us and the responsibility we have as the youth to be the driving force for change.
This movement began on social media and culminated in a series of protest marches that led to the deposition of undemocratic governments starting in Tunisia and Egypt and spread across to other Arab countries. Social media has also facilitated many discussions and debates over the past few weeks over Black Lives Matter. It is evident that there are deep-rooted issues that we as the youth of a global community are yet to address, with racism being the most prevalent one.
It's going to take more than a hashtag to generate a positive change. Don't just follow the hype on social media. Educate yourself so that you can understand what the reasons are for movements like enough is enough, hashtag Black Lives Matter. You too can be effective in actually changing the status quo, because the truth is, awareness without action is as good as knowledge without power. As the change we want to see will only exist in our minds, but never materialize.
Greta Thunberg, 17-year-old, stood eyeball to eyeball with the world's most powerful leaders and called them out on their lukewarm approach to combating climate change.
Malala Yousafzai, at the age of 12, was identified as a threat to the Taliban in Pakistan. At the age of 15, she was shot for her encouragement of the education of females. A mere 2 years later, she became the youngest laureate of the Nobel Peace Prize.
These are but a few examples of what the youth have done to effect change.
You do not need to face a barricade of police like the youth of 1976.
You can effect change by calling out injustice when your friends are being racist, homophobic, or sexist.
It is not enough to be a non-racist, you ought to be anti-racist.
It's not enough to be okay with LGBTQ. You ought to treat all people the same.
It's not enough to be a man who is not sexist. You ought to call out those who are.
It is not enough to be a man who's not abusive. You ought to stand up for women and speak out against the abuse of
Our
women.
mission as college boys should be to strive for positive change.
We, the youth of today, have a chance to use our voices to set the trend for the youth of tomorrow. We are accountable to the youth of the past and have a responsibility to make a difference for the youth of the future. Our message is simple. Divided we fall, united and equal we all flourish. Happy Youth Day.